Hi guys, I'm Strauss and welcome back to another YouTube episode of Road to Power. So in today's episode we'll be doing a how to configure boost control using an Emerald K6 on a Golf 4 R32. Currently we have an Emerald K6 with a PNP plug-in 7.1 adapter harness for the Golf 4 R32. These are all available from Emerald. EMD 3D, I think that's the website's name. So in today's video we'll be quickly running through how can you set up boost control using your Emerald K6. So just a brief background. We have an Emerald K6 controlling our boost with our Golf 4 R32. As you've seen in my previous video, I had a card up here. We had some boost issues. I'm not entirely happy with how I was controlling the boost. We went through that. I did some troubleshooting, and today's video we will be breaking it down into 3 parts. We're going to start out with the hardware, then we're going to look at the configuration, and then we're going to look at the software, where we will be pressing buttons, adding, subtracting, doing advanced maths. No, I'm kidding. It's really easy. It's really straightforward, and using the Emerald K6 is really straightforward. Just adding in for my friends watching on the Emerald groups, I'm using the compiler software 6 version 6 K6 version 22 or 2.22. This is vital since Emerald has updated its compiler software. Some of the tabs in the compiler software might not be the same, or are definitely not the same as their website. The latest compiler version is not available on their website, so you will have to get in contact with Emerald directly, and they will provide you with a compiler installation file. So with no further ado, let's start with part 1. So part 1 will be the physical. We'll be checking how we connect a boost controller. So we have different types of boost control methods we can use. In my case, we will be using a 3-port solenoid. We'll be pulsing this solenoid. This is an extra wastegate. So in here you have a diaphragm. Just quickly, you can watch the video of Turbo Explained. I think they have all the types of boost control, so you can choose one. The one we chose is a 3-port solenoid. For external gate, we will be adding boost to the top, being pulsed by a 3-port solenoid. So what that means in short, when we are generating boost or positive pressure, it's fed into the bottom part of the diaphragm. This will open your wastegate and make your turbo spool slower, or so you don't make so much boost, don't overboost. But in our case, our wastegate's open. We don't want it open, we want it closed at that part in the RPM, and this is where the Emerald really comes in. You can fine tune your boost. In our case, we'll be using an open loop boost control, but what we have is we are looking at our throttle position. I want the boost to apply pressure to the top of the gate, keeping it closed under acceleration conditions. So this means my throttle position is larger than 50% closed or open, sorry, my bad. And I want the car to be running. I want put my foot down and go. So that the ECU will then use its table, which will be referencing my throttle position versus RPM to control my boost. So stage 1, we will be looking at the hardware. So just short pin pin number 19 on my adapter harness is assigned to boost control. Pin number 19 on the Emerald is described as auxiliary output, and we have that connected to our 3-port boost. Yeah, I'll show you that just now. So guys, all these vacuum lines you see here, I already went for a test drive. This is the 3-port solenoid I'm talking about. So it has 3 ports, our source, our switching port, and our vent port. For the purpose of this video, I have 2 containers of water. So I added the water just for illustration, for us to see the ports really pulse and divert the air. My boost source will be my mouth. I'll be blowing into this pipe over here. So the configuration that I have, I'll add in, if you haven't watched the previous video, I'll add in the configuration that we will be plumbing into. So basically the main boost source will be our turbocharger, and then that runs to a T-piece. From the T-piece I will be running to the port. The main part of the T-piece will be going directly to the bottom half of the wastegate, trying to open the plunger. But as we pulse the valve, we'll be adding boost to the top of the plunger, forcing it down. Our base pressure is 0.4 bar. So without further ado, we will now connect to the Emerald K6, and I will add in the video of my laptop, where you can actually see what we will be doing. Hi guys, so we are going to connect to our Emerald K6. Gonna add in our USB port. Gonna refresh my laptop. Refresh. I'm going to switch on the ignition of our car, which will switch on our ECU. Gonna open up our compiler software. We are going to press scan to see the ECU. So we have it set up on COM port 14. So it should find our ECU connected to COM port 14. Checking COM port 14. Something. Having some technical difficulties. Why oh why? Let's try that again. Open up our Emerald software, we scan so that our ignition is on. Should find my computer. Yes, we found our ECU. Okay, we are going to say read our map file, our current map. Yes, okay, there we have it. We have our current map on our laptop. So what we want to do today, set up our boost control. So we're going to go to additional maps. We have our boost control segment, and right now on our open loop setting we have block 0, throttle 0, because the car's off, it's standing. Our valve should be off. Okay, so how we would test whether our valve is off, we have our boost source, which is this one, and over here, let me just make sure you can see the bubbles. Maybe I should move it, just hold on. So over here we have our boost valve, our boost source, which is going to be me blowing into it, and then the one going to the top of our valve with our exhaust port. So currently we have that setting at 0.0. Let me blow into it. We got nothing coming out of the going to the top of the valve. So what we will do is we will change the setting for test to 10%. So this will give 10% of our, it will pulse it 10% of our source to the top of our valve. I hope you can hear that. That's 10% to the top of the valve and 90% to the exhaust. So as you can see, this one is much stronger than that one. Whew. Not good at blowing bubbles. Let's change it to 90%. So this should see the majority of the valve go on that side. To the top of the wastegate, which is this one. As you can see, the bubbles are much more. So in the setting where we put in 0, this valve will be closed and we won't bleed off as much boost pressure to the top of the valve, closing it, and that's basically our setting. Yeah, so in short, that's how to set up boost in the Emerald. You'll have to check the boost graph using your Emerald data logger. So while we are still connected to the Emerald K6, we did some settings to find the desired boost response by driving the car in third gear and doing full throttle pulls. So when you are connected to your ECU and the car is running, you will see this red record. There's a record button over there. It will be running while you are driving. So how to see your Emerald log file? This is easy. You click on graph, you click on data logger. In our case, we have our data logger set up to see engine speed, throttle position, intake air temp, our map sensor, our air fuel ratio, what load side we are running. Sadly I didn't record on the road, but we saved our log file. So you can save your log files. So in our case, we're going to say load from log file. I saved it under today's date. I open the log file. There we have our log file. Let me just enlarge this. So you will also see this data. So what are we really looking at? We're looking at the condition where we accelerated the car. So I like to put my scroll. This is the scroll over here. I like to put it off. So initially we are looking for 100% throttle. So we were driving. So let's see where we can find a nice pool where we reach 100% throttle. Let me just make sure I didn't skip it. Nope. Okay, we will be looking. Driving. Some red robots. So it's recording the entire time while you're on a cruise. Right over here we have a condition where we're going to 100% throttle. And what's our boost pressure over there? Our boost pressure is 0.1. You can see the gate opening and the boost dropping off. This is the initial settings that I used on the Emerald at 5000 rpm. We're making 0.1, and then just 0.1. We did a second pull, making positive pressure 0.17. Full throttle 4000 rpm, and there is what we want to smoothen out. We have a dip in our pressure produced by the turbo. Here we have another pull, 0.17, 0.2 at 5000 rpm, and then it rolls off 0.15. so I gave it a larger duty cycle. So let's see what that did to our boost pressure. So my last log, let me just make sure this is it. No, 0.32. Let's continue here. We're on our way back. Third gear pull. Could this be a third gear pull? Yes. Here we are seeing much better boost curves being produced by the car. Now we see a boost pressure of 0.3 bar boost at 80% throttle, 5400 rpm, 11 AFR. So this is much higher than we had just now. This is good. So let's have another look at the full throttle pull. See if we find. So that, I think that's my last full throttle pull, just to make sure. That looks like my last full throttle pull. So there you have it, guys. In short, how to use your log file, what to look at, what event you are generating, and yeah, I hope this points you in the right direction. Under your just close this. Under our additional maps, something very important, we have a boost cut. I think it's under additional maps. Let me just make sure it's not here. Okay, additional maps, boost control, control settings. Yeah, so here under additional maps, boost control, we have a tab called control settings. I have my settings set default to 12 Hz, maximum duty cycle 11%. This is what we are looking for. It's overboost protection, engine cut if pressure exceeds, in our case, 0.66 bar for 2 seconds. So this really, if you are unsure, you can set additional safety into the Emerald K6 Plus to have your boost cut on. The pressure is larger than 0.6, you can play around with it. I incremented my boost table, this open loop table, with small increments until I found a boost curve which I liked, and I can add more or less duty cycle to the valve already, and I'm already having a good response. So thank you for staying tuned. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please leave a comment, please subscribe. It really helps out my channel, and see you in the next video.